I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in Dharma, I take refuge in Sangha. I'd like to introduce to you a practice that I just discovered, which is called dropping into the heart. And the basic aspect of the practice is to know when you're evaluating things or seeing things through your mind, and then to imagine that you can unhook your awareness from your mind and drop it into your heart, wherever you feel your heart is located. This is based on an interesting aspect of the difference between East and West. In the East, in general, if you ask somebody, where are you? Where are you in your body? They will point to their heart or to their gut. And they feel that that is an honest place to come from. And that's where they actually live and dwell. In the West, we think of ourselves as living in our minds, like a little computer behind our eyes, looking out and evaluating things and making decisions about, well, telling the hand to reach out and grab something and put it in the mouth and so on. So this is a big difference. We divide the heart and mind. And in the East, that's not done so much. In the East, this is the character for heart, mind, and spirit. And it's actually a stylized representation of an anatomical heart. So this would be the place you dwell from. And this is what got me curious about the difference between evaluating from the mind and evaluating from the heart. So I'll give you some examples. We can start with an ordinary object. I just picked this up off my desk. This is a pair of scissors. And I'm going to start by looking at it with my mind and seeing what I notice with my mind. What I notice with my mind is that it's not a very good pair of scissors. It's not a well-known brand like Fiskars. And it's not very attractive. I would like a more attractive color to the handle. And it's been used a lot and it's a little bit grubby. So now I'm going to unhook my awareness from my mind and move it down to my heart. And I'm going to look at this pair of scissors with my heart. So what I notice with my heart is a kind of softening of my gaze when I look with the eyes of the heart. And I notice these two shapes here are very different, and they're kind of interesting, how they made these two shapes for the hand and for the thumb different. And then they're outlined in silver, which is actually very pretty. And then I notice made in China, and I think of all the Chinese people working in the factories who make these scissors, and then they get shipped to us and we buy them and we use them. And I think of all the ways that I have used these scissors, all the things that I have cut, and I'm actually grateful to the scissors for all the work they've done. So mind is related to wisdom, to clarity, to discernment, but it can also edge over into inner critic, which you may have noticed. I was more critical of the scissors when I was using my mind's awareness. And then heart is the element of compassion or loving kindness, and there is a loving and softer quality both to how I see things and also how I feel about things when I switch and look with my heart. Another very interesting one to do is your hand. I won't do it, but the whole thing, but first you look with your mind and look at your hand with your mind. And what does your mind notice about your hand? So you spend a few minutes doing that, and then you drop your awareness into your heart, and then look at your hand with the eyes of your heart, or the awareness of your heart, and see what the heart notices about your hand. And then, if you want a real challenge, get a mirror. You look in the mirror with the eyes of your mind and see what you notice. You look at your own face and spend a few minutes doing this. And then you move your awareness down to your heart and look at this face with the eyes of the heart and see what you notice and see if it's different. So this is a wonderful practice which you can do anywhere, anytime. You can be standing in line at the grocery store and look at people or look at a magazine cover and do it with your mind and then switch to the eyes of your heart. And it's very useful, I find, at work especially if you're dealing with people, especially if you're dealing with difficult people. And then see, as you practice this, as you practice switching from mind's awareness to heart's awareness, then you have some choice in any situation. So one of my mottos is awareness brings choice and choice brings freedom. If we're stuck in the mind, we're stuck in one mode. If we're stuck in the heart, we're stuck in one mode. And if we pop up into awareness, then we have choice. Okay, I'll evaluate with my mind, I'll evaluate with my heart. Put those together, and we have a nice, very deep and thorough way of working with situations and people. So try it out, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.